What is going on, guys? It is your boy Tor. We're back for another video. Today we're bringing back a series. It's the top 10. You know what? I seen a lot of recommended top 10s recently in my subscription box, and I was like, you know what? I want to do one of these. Everyone's doing them right now, and it seems pretty cool, right? To give your opinion and really break down the top 10 characters for whatever category you want to go into. Today, what I want to focus in on is Spirits Are Forever With You and Can't Fear Your Own World, since currently there's, round 2 of Anniversary still out, where you got the chance of pulling Spirits Are Forever With You and Can't Fear Your Own World characters. So I wanted to go ahead and just talk about the top 10 characters that I believe are in the game for both of those collaborations. Comment down below if I miss anything, or if you'd like to see another top 10 or even a tier list video. Recommend who you'd like to see next or what category you'd like to see next. Keep in mind, this is all my opinion, and if you don't agree, that's totally fine. That's how this works. But comment down below what you think is wrong with this list. But with that said, I want to get straight to it. The first 4 characters we're going to get into are just honorable mentions. I'm not going to go too in depth with them. I'm just going to go over a little bit about what I think is really good about them. So first off, we have Shohorn. Shohorn is a unique character that is the first of its kind to have a second strong attack that debuffs the enemies, which makes him really good in Guild Quest or in many other game modes, right, where you're trying to weaken the enemy just to deal more damage for you and your team. And he does have it as a strong attack, which normally you see it in specials. Characters like Bankai Shuhei, they have it through their special. He happens to have it through his second, so pretty good character. Other than that, he does miss Havoc as a skill, so that's probably why he's not in the top 10. Next up, we've got ourselves Donkanoji and Picaro. This one's kind of interesting because it's 2 characters in one, but K-Lab for whatever reason didn't want to make him a double team character, so it's just one character. But honestly, pretty good stuff surrounding this character. He has a double killer of Hollow and Arankar, which is really good. But other than that, he does lack a few things, like his first and second are a little bit kind of odd strong attacks, and but he does have a really nice special, just like Shohorn. He debuffs, but instead of his strong attacks, it's through his special, which is really good, and I think still a decent character, even though he doesn't have the best first and second. Third of the honorable mentions, and by the way, this is in no particular order when it comes to the honorable mentions, but we've got ourselves Hikone, Bankai Hikone. This one kind of barely missed out on the top 10 in my opinion, just because there's a few better characters in my opinion that are newer and more recent. But nonetheless, this character is awesome. I happen to have him 5 out of 5, and I can tell you he is a really quick character. He has double flash step, but he does have like Berserker of 20 with Frenzy, so all in all, he's a very good character. Like I said, there's just so many other characters in the collaborations for Can't Fear Your Own World and Spirits Are Forever With You that I feel like he nearly made it out of the top 10. And the last honorable mention is going to be Tsukishima. If you would have asked me about 2 weeks ago, where this character would have ranked in the Can't Fear Your Own World list, I think he would have made it in the top 10. But now that we've got a character like Yamamoto that counters him in the one specific game mode that this character was very good in, which is Brave Battles, I feel like he just happens to not be in the top 10 anymore. That's what happens with Brave Battle characters when they're specifically made for that and they're not the greatest in other areas, is that they just end up being outdated as soon as there's a counter for them. So Tsukishima is a cool character. He has a lot of things that are good. You could actually go with like a PvE type build and just run him in PvE, but still not going to be the greatest. There's a lot of other options out there. So with that said, now we're getting into the top 10. In the number 10th spot, we've got ourselves Dordony. This one might be a bit of a shocker for some, and let me go ahead and explain first before you start typing out your angry response to me. This character is actually really surprisingly good. He has DR of 20%, but that's not what stands out. What stands out is that he gets Flurry with Bruiser of 50%, and then power attribute Arankar normal attack damage of 20%. So essentially, he's getting an added 70% NAD damage on top of already having Flurry. He does also get 60% Berserker, which is a huge number, right? So you can build him up in a hybrid build. And then also, he does get long reach, which is news to me. I didn't know that you'd get long reach through a mid-month banner. You know, every other character in his banner did not get Havoc for the strong attack damage unit. So honestly, the fact that he got long reach, the fact that he also got strong attack recharge minus 12% is really, really good, because his kit is actually really good for what he's going to be able to do. He has a second, which is a walking vortex. It surrounds him, and you can use that because he doesn't have guard break. So when you don't have guard break, a strong attack like that is going to be very beneficial. All in all, combine that with that super high NAD damage increase and flurry, this guy's actually really, really good. I honestly feel like he's a better PvE character, like for content when you go in auto or just in general, than a character like Tsukishima that barely made it out of the top 10. He is also an Arankar killer, which is kind of not very common, so that's really, really good. So essentially what you're looking at when you're going up against Arankar characters, you're actually going to be dealing 90% extra normal attack damage plus flurry plus berserker of 60% with long reach, sprinter, and recharge of 12% to charge up that second strong attack more often than not. So he's a very, very good character. I highly suggest, if you have him, try him out in a hybrid build. Tell me what you think about him.
久々に高揚する闘争だ。存分に踊ろうではないか。
Next up on the list is a character that's one of the older ones on this list, but she is so good that I feel like she had to make it in the top 10, and that's going to be Can't Fear Your Own World Halibel. This Halibel is so good, man. She has a lot of things that I honestly didn't even expect to still see as a skill that was so far back, right? She came out maybe over a year and a half ago, possibly even 2 years ago. When you're looking at her skill, she actually gets 40% Berserker, and then you combine that with the Frenzy, and then the fact that she boosts with her second strong attack. Not only does she help her team, right, but she's going to be hitting super, super hard. She doesn't get like weakening as a status ailment, but again, 40% Berserker is huge. For a character that's as old as she is, that kind of still shocked me to see that she got that 40% increase still. All in all, man, she's a really, really good character. Maybe not your favorite kit, but it's one of those kits that are still really, really good. And all in all, man, really just an awesome character that I still feel like holds up to this day.
逃げられると思うな。ゲンテスでキブロン。
8th on the list is going to be Can't Fear Your Own World, my Yuri. And this character here, man, it's an interesting one, right? I actually didn't pull him, but I did a little bit of research. I looked at his gameplay, I looked at his kit, and he actually is a very, very good character. He is one of the only speed attribute droplet units out there. I think it's him and one other. So it's he's a unique character in that regard. But not just that, he's actually really, really good. He has a really good kit. He has a special that revives the team, so it's like last ditch for everyone. He weakens through everything, but he also has the Berserker of 20% in his skills with Guard Break, which is huge, Frenzy, and overall, man, just an awesome character. I feel like he stands up to a lot of the newer characters that come out nowadays, and I feel like he was kind of underrated just for the fact that, you know, people skipped out on this banner because it was not that big of a banner.
被験対象を確認したよ。早速実験に向かうとしようじゃないかね。
Next up, we've got ourselves the number 7 spot, and this is going to be Grimmjow. When we talk about a character that can auto, there's no better character than Grimmjow, man. If there is, you go ahead and tell me, but I'm pretty sure this is the best auto character in the game. There's a reason for that, and that's because he gets Guard Break, hit hidden enemies, and then of course he has Flurry with Berserker of 50, Bruiser of 40, and Poise. The reason why he's so good is because he has strong attacks in which he lunges forward. So, you know, if you want to build him up in a hybrid build, he's going to deal some damage with those strong attacks. He is always pushing forward. With him being a melee NAD unit as well, you know, he one-shots everything as he pushes forward. And honestly, the hidden enemies, the Guard Break, the Poise, it all just combines to make him an awesome auto unit. And honestly, like I said, no better character out there for that specific kind of thing. And he is a Soul Reaper killer, which is the most common, you know, affiliation out there. Again, just an awesome, awesome unit.
てめえが何だろうと構わねえ。俺の前に立ち塞がるなら食い殺すまでだ。
Next up, this one was a little hard to place, and he is number 6, and that's going to be Genji. I was having a tough time either putting him in the next spot, up at 5, in 6th or 7th. It was really hard to decide between the 3 spots, but I decided to put him in here a little bit better than Grimjow, and that's just due to the immense damage that he puts out. To start off, he already has higher attack than Grimjow, but not just that, he also gets more NAD damage increase to him. So he gets a normal attack damage increase of 25% from his soul trait. With Bruiser of 40, that's already at 65 added damage, right? You add the flurry, you add the guard break and follow-up skill, which is new and unique to him. When he drops the enemies and the enemies are down, he's still dealing damage to them, which again, I believe is unique to him and him only. He does have a Berserker of 50% with guard break and weakened defense. And again, I have to emphasize how big guard break is. When you have a character like him, basically with flurry and that normal attack damage increase, the only thing you really need that kind of slows down runs is going to be the guard break from enemies, and he bypasses that. So he's insane. He's a really good character. Again, really underrated because that banner just didn't bring that much attention to a character like this.
よそ見たら随分と舐められたもんだな。月が天章。
And now we're in the top 5, and keep in mind, right, you may have the characters in a different order, and that's totally fine. But we've got ourselves Tokinada in at the number 5th spot, and this character is an absolute monster, man. He changed the game up forever, right? Like, he brought a new meta to the game that was never seen before, and he's an awesome unit. He is the first of its kind, I believe, that has the flurry and guard break combination. Him being ranged as well is insane, and he does have Berserker of 50, so you can always build him up in a hybrid build. But again, the fact that he has flurry, he has guard break, and then he also has a boost as a second strong attack. He's honestly such a good character to auto with, and not just that, but he's dealing huge damage. He also does have a transforming special, which allows him to have a higher mag on his NAD string and also on his strong attacks. And let me just tell you, man, when it comes to his special, it's one of the best looking specials in all of the game. And not just that, but his strong attacks. He has, the strong attacks of the captains that you love to see, like Jushiro, I believe is his first. He also does have a third, which is Yamamoto's strong attack. It's insane. It's really cool. It's unique, and again, one of the best characters to ever come out in this game. The only reason he's in the 5th spot, in my opinion, is because he's kind of older now, and NAD units are usually less prominent than strong attack damage units, in my opinion. If you think differently, then I totally understand, and you can have him higher than where I have him at. That's totally fine.
返しすぎて天外まとい万象等しく映し削らん円羅経典
But now, at the 4th spot, we've got ourselves Bankai Shuhei. This character, talking about insane specials, man. I personally still think that his special is the best one in the game. And it's such a cool looking special, but not just that, man. This character is insane all around, right? He's a very good PvE unit. He's got a 12 recharge time link as a soul trait. He does have a frenzy with havoc of 20%, berserker of 20%, so his damage is pretty high up there, right? He does have nullify melee resistance of 100%, so that's one skill that I believe is very unique to him. There's only like 5 other characters that have that skill where they nullify the resistance, whether it's melee or range. But he's an awesome unit. He does have a nice kit where he lunges forward. His second is one of those suck-in vortexes that it's like half a second, but it does an immense damage at the end. And then third is a full screen. And in general, man, this character is just an awesome character. I believe he's the first of its kind to have that debuff special, so he does hit really hard. He nukes insanely hard, but he also debuffs the enemies, so he hits harder, and he does help in that regard. So just an awesome unit. I feel like he's really good. He came out maybe about a year ago, but even then, he's still one of the better units in the game.
Bankai Shuheiの工場捧げるさ俺の血と命をな。
And at the number 3 spot, we've got one of the most recent characters, and that's going to be Spirits Are Forever With You, Shunsui. And this Shunsui, man, dude, it's kind of hard to place him because, you know, in some people's eyes, he might be higher than this. In some others, it might be lower than this. In my opinion, you know, he's a good character. At first glance, I thought he was going to be one of the best characters in the game. But you come to find out that one thing about him wasn't as good as you might initially have thought. And that's going to be his second strong attack. He is very unique in the fact that he has a second strong attack that follows the enemies, and it's one of those honing in vortexes, like you know, Anniversary Byakuya, Anniversary Aizen. But the one thing about it is that it does not have the initial damage, right, where it blows up everything in front of him with that huge AOE. He doesn't have that. It just is it's simply just a honing in vortex, which is good. But even then, I don't think it's as good as like a walking vortex that, you know, some of these other characters have. So his second, in my opinion, was a little overrated. Maybe not overrated, but we might have jumped the gun on thinking how, you know, that strong attack was going to be super good, not knowing that it wasn't going to be as good as we might have thought it would be. But he does have a very, very good first strong attack, one of the best in the whole game. His third, in some people's eyes, can be one of the best. In some people's eyes, it can be kind of overrated. It's a charge up attack though. It does increase in range and damage as you charge it up, and it can be hitting really, really hard because he does have weakening. He does have also a 40% berserker with the frenzy, guard break, havoc of 20%. And not just that, he also is a heart link slot potion increase character. So with that in mind, he might just be the best link slot potion character out there, you know, depending on who you ask. So with that said, all in all, I feel like this character at the number 3 spot is a good spot to put him at.
Jushiro no shoumen dare.
And coming in at the number 2 spot, we've got ourselves a character that's been out for a while now, but surprisingly, in my opinion, comes out to be still one of the best characters in the game. And that's going to be Bankai Shinji. Bankai Shinji is an insane unit, man. If you didn't know, he has one of the best kits in the game, you know, outside of a character like Aizen, because Aizen is just insane. But this character has a beam forward attack with a 3000 length beam. That's insane. Second, gets everything in front of him. It's a huge strong attack, and his third is going to be a full screen attack. He does have havoc, so everything is just more range. But looking at his skills, this is where he really stands out. He has berserker of 20%. He has power attribute captain strong attack damage plus 20%. So that's realistically 40% berserker, and that's not just for himself. 20% is going to his teammates as well if they're power attribute captains. So that's really good. He also does add an extra 40% damage when the characters are confused or the enemies are confused, because he does confuse through his strong attacks, normal attack, and special, so through everything. So he's hitting huge numbers. You know, if you have him transcended, or not transcended, but link slotted up to level 15 or 20, you can even increase that, right? So he's an insane unit. He's really good. He has frenzy. He doesn't have guard break, so I guess maybe that's a downside to him, but really it doesn't matter, right? He has insane skills. He has really good numbers, and in general, like, again, one of the better characters in the whole game still.
ほんならそろそろ奇跡の時間や。ひっくり返したるわ。挽回。坂島横島八方塞がり。
And then last but not least, we've got the best character from the Can't Fear Your Own World and Spirits Are Forever With You collaborations. And honestly, this character is insane. He's an absolute monster. I personally only got him 1 out of 5. But when I tell you this Jushiro is one of the best characters in the game, and it's not even close, it's insane, man. This guy's so good. I only have him 1 out of 5, but he can auto almost anything. Looking at this character, he's a normal attack damage character. He does have flurry. He has guard break, which is already an amazing combo. But on top of that, he has bruiser 40%, and then speed attribute captain normal attack damage of 20%. So that's already a 60 increase right there, 60% increase there. And then he also has a normal attack damage increase of 20% from his soul trait. So what you're looking at is a 80% increase on NAD with flurry. He also does have guard break and then multi-barrier +2. So he does have a barrier second strong attack, but that second strong attack is also a boost. So wow, he's insane. He boosts, he increases the damage by 80%. He does have a barrier, which is more than normal, right? An extra 2 every time he uses that strong attack. And in case you take any damage, guess what? He inflicts drain through everything except for that second strong attack. Insane unit. Doesn't get better than this. He's the best NAD unit in the whole game. And that's insane. It's like basically an upgrade to Tokinada, which Tokinada was the best character for a long time. So yes, this Jushiro is insane. If you have a different opinion on him, you're wrong. I can safely say that this character, there's no one else that's better than him out of the Spirits Are Forever With You and Can't Fear Your Own World collaboration. So you could not argue with me on who's better at number 1, in my opinion.
これで終わりにしよう。受け取れ。
Anyways, with that said, that makes up the top 10 of the best Can't Fear Your Own World and Spirits Are Forever With You characters in the game. Again, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you agree with this list? Do you think that there's better characters that I might have missed out on? Just keep in mind that there's only so many Spirits Are Forever With You characters out there. So I felt like, combining these two was the way to go. And one thing I noticed, man, it's crazy how many NAD units came out of these 2 collaborations so far. It's insane. I really hope that we get maybe more strong attack damage units in the near future. But honestly, if they're as good as they have been recently, give us whatever. You guys are doing a good job, K-Lab. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you all. And again, like I said, if you want to see another top 10 or maybe a tier list, or I always say this, but I never fulfill my promise, but possibly a character evolution videos, let me know. I want to try to work on more of these videos that take a little bit more time in editing. They're just cool to make and they're enjoyable to make, to be honest. So anyways, comment down below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.